Good evening to you all. Thank you for watching UBC Television with me, Wadulo Mark Ano. This is your 10 o'clock edition, and Mugalu Muhammad is right here on the sign language. Without further ado, let's take a look at tonight's top stories. In our headlines tonight, President Museveni condemns shooting of Indian businessman. Colonel Charles Ngola accorded an 11-gun salute during his burial. And heavy water flows washes away Katonga Bridge. And in sports, Ngabi beats the Nchima clan 3-1 at the Kabaka tournament. Thank you for joining us for the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. We now give you the news in detail. Now, as you may know, most of you by now, an ugly incident happened yesterday along Parliamentary Avenue, where an Indian businessman was shot dead by a policeman. Now, the President, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, came up on Twitter and sent his condolences in a tweet which read, and I quote, "Ugandans, especially the Bazukulu, condolences on the death of one of our Indian people, Utam Bandari, killed by a police constable by the names of Wawire Ivan. All these mistakes are easily traceable, and in this case, for instance, some questions immediately come up. How did an off-duty policeman access the gun, he asks. Did he walk away from his guard post without permission with a gun to commit a crime? How are the guns stored in police? Is there no security at the site where the victim was? Why did that local security allow an armed person into the building who had no guard business there? Then there is the question of the mental state of this policeman. Did he have history of mental illness? If he had, then why didn't the police leadership get noticed and act appropriately? The answers to these questions may help us plug the gaps in the security system. Condolences to the family of Mr. Bandari. Signed, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, end quote. Thank you very much. Now, in another development, the people of northern Uganda have tasked the government to investigate and explain the motive and circumstances under which Minister for Labour, Employment and Industrial Relations, Charles Ngola, was killed by the personal bodyguard. The demand for the investigations is what dominated the speeches during his burial at Awanji village, Oyam district, where the vice president who represented the president, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, was the chief mourner.
Thousands of the people gathered at Awangi village in Oyam district for the final send-off of Charles Ngola, who was killed by his bodyguard on 2nd May. During the burial ceremony, the people of the Greater North tasked the government to expedite the investigations to the logical conclusion.
How can a man who braved danger, a man who courted danger in the battlefield, be killed like a dog? We really want to know. If only to rest the matter, we just want to know, and I'm glad investigations are being carried out.
The same remarks were resolved by the district councils of the northern Uganda that the killing of the minister by the personal bodyguard is unusual and must be explained.
Government expedites investigation and give us the feedback of what happened, what was the motive of shooting our own son, 28 bullets. One person, 28 bullets. They have determined, they have planned, and murdered him in that cold blood.
The council also wants Angola, who died at the rank of colonel, to be promoted to the rank of brigadier general and the roads to be tarmacked in the memory of Angola.
Retired Kelingwala be given a posthumous promotion to a brigadier general, as even if he has passed on. That was one permanent.
President Museveni, who was represented by the Vice President Jessica Alupo, pledged to take the demands of the people of Angola to the President for action. The President described Angola as a lion due to his bravery.
Colonel retired Charles Angola Okello was a lion. I first saw him in Lubiri Barracks before it was returned to Kabaka, manning a 14.5mm anti-aircraft gun in 1986. Later, he became an infantry commander.
Also in attendance at the burial ceremony were top government and security officials, members of parliament and ministers who described Angola as a patriot and a hard-working person. Philip Aguta for UBC News in Oyamu District.
Now, in relation to this case, police have revealed that the police officer who shot and killed an Indian national at Raja Chambers had a mental disorder. Utam Bandari was killed by Ivan Wawire, who is currently on the run. According to the police, the suspect Wawire used a gun left at home by his housemate. The incident sparked mixed reactions, including questions raised by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni through his social media handles. Fred Egesa, a security analyst, advises security operatives to enhance conflict resolution avenues to curb such crimes. Egesa was speaking to our own Daniel Mugoya in an interview.
In this CCTV footage, which has been spread across various media, shows how an armed suspect identified as Ivan Wawire, a police constable 67029, seemingly lost patience and shot at Utam Bandari, who died instantly. The incident happened at Raja Chambers along Parliamentary Avenue in Kampala. According to police, a team has been set aside to track and find the suspect Ivan Wawire, who is currently on the run.
This will be very useful evidence during trial. The suspect is still on the run, but a team has been set up to track him.
Circumstances surrounding the nature of the shoot remain complex, leaving behind hanging questions.
He came with a gun, with a possibility, a very, very big possibility of using it. Now, that spells two things to our forces. I think it's high time we knew that orders at one time or the other may not work. Discipline at one time or the other may not work. And then we should create in all police centers, or even for army, there should be centers of counseling where if in case there is a situation where people can go and government, they talk to, government is a parent.
The killer, Wawire, took advantage of a gun which was brought home by his housemate who had worked night. Police says the housemate is already in the custody.
Police management at CPS Kampala had taken a decision about 6 years ago, not to arm the suspect with a gun. And they have been deploying him in bits that does not require him to be armed. His current deployment was at CCTV Monitoring Center. Due to limited accommodation, the suspect was sharing a house with a fellow police officer.
Yeah, if it was a mentally disturbed person, you'd see the erratism, you'd see him, you'd see the savage way he would have used this weapon. But he was very particular. He fires at one person, he fires in the air, he fires at one person, he knows that I've knocked him out, but he's not even very sure if he took the bullets. He walks back, he comes back, he shoots him 3 times again to make sure he's literally dead. And even in the corridors when he was away, people were running out and he was not confronting anybody. But this was a much more case of recklessness, that a gun was left. In fact, it was even nice to bring back the gun. He would have fled with it.
President Yoweri Museveni raised a number of questions which, to his wisdom, may plug the gaps in security system in Uganda. In my interaction with the renowned security expert Fred Egesa, such instances can be curbed through enhancing conflict resolution among security agencies.
The person was not on duty. It's the question, how are guns managed within the police, in the central police station? And I know, that's why before, there used to be a situation that CMI would get concerned with how policeman handles their guns. Even ISO would also get concerned, and then they would exchange reports and then tighten management. We have had cases of abuse of the armorer, the police armories. We have had several cases. How do they come about? That you'll find that sometimes at one time even guns were coming out and being hired out. Sometimes bullets were leaving. Now, if armories are not managed, I think it may bring in a question of saying any armory around should be managed by a list of other forces, not only one single force.
Okay.
Yep.
Secondly, the president's concern is, did he walk away from his guard post without permission with a gun, or to commit a crime?
Does that mean that he disarmed his friend? What explanation does the friend give? You know, a gun is an item on the body, like my phone.
The friend left the gun home, and according to police, he went to see his sick.
Have you leave a gun home? Kept by who? Has that person? Is that unit being supervised? How have they been taught the importance of keeping a gun on your body? Do you leave a gun in a room? All these are questions, and that's why sometimes really it is very important that we study these cases and then criticize ourselves and perfect. Because if a gun was left in a room, meaning that he could open and access the gun, even any other person, even children of these days a boy of 12 years can cock and use a gun. Now you can see the dangers we are looking at in barracks, or it may be in locations where we keep our forces.
Okay, there's also the fourth question. The president is concerned. He asks, is there no security at the site where the victim was?
Yeah, they used to be in discipline by, even I remember a case where we had a minister in Mukono where I think his minister slapped a guard. Yeah, but those are very isolated cases. Those are very isolated cases.
Then there's the last one. Did he have a history of mental, of course, instability? If he had, why didn't the police leadership noticed and acted appropriately? Now, this takes us to the police statement today. The police says 6 years ago they had vowed never to arm this of police officer Wawire anymore. So what do you make of?
When they vowed, why did they keep him? How was it going to operate without a rifle when he's supposed to be enforcing the law and order? That is double standards. If you believe someone, what was the reason? What did he do? If once you have indiscipline on firearms, you should literally be out of the force. Because how will they be very careful that at one time, if there is an emergency, how will you be isolated? Think of a situation that you're in a station and you have been invaded, and there is that kind of rush for arms to defend. How will you say this one may not have the best head to be given a gun? Why wasn't he relieved?
The gun violence has gained momentum in the last few weeks after a security officer attached to UPDF shot and killed the former Minister of State for Labour, Charles Okello. An unarmed assailant shot and killed a vlogger, Ismatu Subira, aka Jaja Ichuli, and Police Constable Ivan Wawire, who shot and killed an Indian investor, Hutam Bandari, among others.
Investigatively or through research, we should try to look at these cases, though isolated cases, but they are common in that people allowed to carry arms are taking away the lives of those they would have protected. Because like with the policeman, he was not literally protecting this guy, but a policeman has a duty to protect anybody in Uganda and property. Now, he's the one taking away the life of that person who he would have protected. So under the circumstances, we come to realize and say, I think there is we should understand these cases in isolation and then try to correlate them and get a common answer. And then once we have got a common answer, then we shall chart out a common solution.
Daniel Mugoya, UBC News.
Yes, UBC News. Now, River Katonga's heavy flow has caused the collapse of a section of Kampala-Masaka Highway Road, leading to a diversion of traffic via Mpigi, Kanoni, Sembabule. Now, motorcycle riders have also increased fares, while others have resorted to using boats from Kayabwe, Namirembe Shore to Masaka. The situation has also affected fishermen due to accumulated weeds.
A roadblock has been installed along the Kampala-Masaka highway to divert traffic for those plying to and from Masaka, except for those headed to Kayabwe. The Mpigi-Kanoni-Sembabule route is the option available. As a result, riders have increased fares from Kayabwe to Masaka.
We have not heard from our MP about the status of the road, whether the road will be worked on or not. I would transport a passenger at 30,000 shillings from Kayabwe to Masaka, but this time going through Sembabule, it costs 100,000 shillings. The bridge was also weak because it had some cracks, but I think there was laxity to check the status of the bridge.
Some travelers have turned to alternative transportation methods, such as using boats, to travel from Kayabwe, Namirembe Shoal to Masaka.
Omuntu agenda okulinnya eryato wano agenda kubeera nga atuwaayo omutwalo gumu.
Every passenger pays between 10,000 to 20,000, depending on even how you speak to us. But we also consider where the person is going.
Namasaka yeka tumuwe mutwalo asomoke awantu wano.
We need bigger boats with stronger engines to be able to maneuver this weed that has been caused by this flooding. There are points where we reach, then we have to get off the boats and then push them to be able to proceed. It is really very tough for us.
Boat owners have made available life jackets to ensure passengers' safety during transit.
I have allocated 10 life jackets to every boat, though I request them to wear them properly to be safe since they have no strings on them.
Akasente olw'okuba nti njagala omwana wange ogenda okujuza fomu siina kyakukola naye era akasente wali ku luguudo tubadde tukozesa 10,000 wano bansabye omutwalo gumu 2,000 ku nfuna yaffe nga bannakyalo sente nnyingi nnyo.
Fishermen have also been affected due to a lot of weed that has made the activity hard to carry out.
Even if people are traveling, we the fishermen have no business to transact.
All this has been caused by the River Katonga, whose heavy flow caused the road to collapse, rendering it impassable.
There is a good road from Kayabwe town that can take you to Kanoni or Kabula Soke. The road is good, and if worked upon, it can help us. This road requires small vehicles because heavy ones cannot use this route. That is why most of the loaded vehicles had to go to the diversion point where people have to go through Sembabule.
For now, no activity is taking place, though security forces and officials from the Uganda National Roads Authority continue to visit the area for assessment. It is alleged that human activities in the area have partly caused the water to exert pressure on the road, while heavy vehicles have also contributed to this scenario. Sandra Kahonde, Ivan Kawa, UBC News Tonight.
The Prime Minister Robina Nabanja has commissioned a 4.5 billion shillings water supply system in Bukanga constituency, Isinjiro district. The project named Rutete Chibeba Water Supply and Sanitation Scheme is serving over 10,000 people and 11 villages that comprise of both the host communities and refugees in Nachivale settlement camp.
The Rutete Chibeba Water Supply and Sanitation Scheme was implemented by Development Response to Displacement Impacts Project in the Office of the Prime Minister. While commissioning water supply and sanitation scheme at Mbare sub-county headquarters, the Prime Minister Nabanja says that President Yoweri Museveni promised the people of Bukanga water and now government has delivered.
President yakulaganiza ebintu akarabaraganiza izirano amaizi yabaraganiza amasomero yabaraganiza amarwaro yabaraganiza buli kimu hati twa muri mu gwaitu mu office ya Prime Minister kuli kuikiriza endagano za president. President ajagenda ati isomera kabagamba likole ati wakagamba nabanya genda mukole tujye kulikora habokuba niyengeri yonka mukusobora kutunga mu government yene. So president akaragira abantu banu mutunga amaizi.
Nabanja says that this water scheme is intended to address the water scarcity challenge that has taken long in Isingiro district.
Kandi tukwenda project zino zibere run by national water. Habokuba national water ina sente zikuongerayo. Dr. Deep is phasing out. Mukisha kutunga ekizibu amaizi dakatunga ekizibu ba mismanagement oba mukatunga pipe zikozire ekizibu ni mwenda kuzidabiriza amaizi gabere okumara obwiri.
The Isingiro district local government chairperson Aaron Turahi thanked government for extending piped water to the people of Bukanga, but asked government to ensure the Isingiro water project also takes off.
Urukureba tuina mizi gitu gomujere gwa Kagera hari. Amizago hate shaheje contract kabire yatandikire. Contractor tukaye twambwine uke ahindu kugambira. Hata harimba kora treatment plan na main pipeline rukuza mbara konkito bisingiro contractor twakamurebaga ngo bakagiro kurya no ministry twahiguraho ebarahanka cyabona rebo ngoje yakikurete mwena ni nyenda ngo icyo kintu kitu kisingiro na miziga president muyaga turaganise 79 million euros zuruho tino zkwasire konga contractor taro abo kuba bariya bakagera mu butekerezano bayina ngo bariye munonge ndanje naye kabihano itwe ngo tubonabone.
The Isingiro District Woman Member of Parliament Claire Mugumya and Bukanga South MP Stephen Kwangaje commended government for the services offered to the people of Isingiro, but highlighted some of the challenges they are facing. Stephen Kwangaje, the Bukanga South Member of Parliament, expressed concern that 7 billion shillings meant for the feasibility study for Isingiro Rakai Road might be returned to the Treasury if it is not utilized before the end of June.
Nyuma wazinyona nasa na izonyona nasa na Claire tukazo Solicitors General Office naga majingwe barateka birwe kusayiningwa kandi sente ziri mu yunura nzendaga ko consolidated fund. You can imagine eze sente lezo gukora feasibility study yorugutorwa una president orutahandu ito sente zine ezo gukora urugutoro okazura ganisa na government zine konka feasibility study. You can imagine hati nyuma abazi bataraganise ngo okwezo kurukwijo kwa mukaga contractor ine kuzasayita katanka kuri ngo yakora konka twantukushaba otwikirize gutwara gaho urukubanza otwetera office ya Solicitor General baterize contractor tandiki ejiku district yoro mweji ni yeru kulisa Kampala ni yeru kulisa Uganda yeru kulisa Rwanda yeru kulisa Tanzania yeru kulisa East Africa eji yoro kurebe.
Residents of Mbare Trading Center and other beneficiaries say it has been a nightmare to get water for domestic use, but now life has become easy.
Project eji eyambere kugira ngo abantu bitu tibakifuna ndwara izo kuruga umukunyamizi kamarofa hata abantu bitu n'abanyamizi kamayonjo so kiretire esente umunshaho zabo zaguma mu bazikozese bite bindi ibibakubire ne bakozesa kuza kwejanjaba ahabo kunyamizi kamarofa
nizaga gatuyamira kwa twaturukubi kantu yemiza damu kine butambo yatukaga tambuza mutwe kagareta yana bukashanga gatabonire ya kuchabisha mungahategesha turije.
The Prime Minister later in the day presided over Isingiro District Belated Women's Day celebrations that was organized by the woman member of parliament, Kilea Mugumya. Joseph Okow, UBC.
More in our news tonight, the Deputy Chief Justice Richard Butera has urged the recently newly appointed judges of the Supreme Court and Court of Appeal and long-serving judges to improve on their service delivery by resolving backlog cases. This was during the induction training of justices aiming at strengthening the capacity of the Supreme Court and Court of Appeal judges for effective service delivery.
It was decided that instead of just inducting the new justices, all the justices on those courts should come and benefit from the induction. Why is the induction important? Number one, it is to teach and train the new judicial officers on the role that they are taking on, because they are coming from different courts, they are coming from different sectors. Now you need to prepare them. It's because we work in panels, backlog becomes even more pronounced. Because when you're working alone, you sit down and just churn out your judgments whenever. But when you're working in a team, your effort will depend on his effort, will depend on another person's effort, which is why. So we've got empowered and we've got trained in how to work together better and ensure that we produce better and faster results.
I'm mindful of the fact that judiciary has not organized a retreat of this nature in the recent past. So this induction is very timely and beneficial to all of us. The training program, as drafted by the organizers, was elaborate for this purpose. The topics selected for this induction were in tandem with our resolve to address the current challenges that face the judiciary relating to the administration of justice. We have had in-depth deliberations on topics highlighted in the training program. We should be in position to employ the skills that we have discussed and learned, the good practices, effective team building techniques, collegial and teamwork skills, among others, acquired in the induction retreat. This will help us strategically manage caseload and reduce case backlog, enabling us to serve the Ugandan public. The judiciary expects better and improved performance from each one of us, since we have been fully equipped with the skills and knowledge to effectively execute our judicial and administrative role. Once that is done, the image of the appellate courts and that of the judiciary as a whole will improve if we put in practice what we have all discussed here.
Domestic violence and extreme poverty among the families has left the number of children abandoned and neglected in Entebbe rise. According to Wanda Nganzi, the Fund Development and Communications Manager at SOS Children's Village in Uganda, teenage pregnancy and early marriages has resulted into domestic violence due to extreme poverty among families. Now, civil society organizations want government to revise laws and policies regarding early marriages and teenage pregnancies, as these details share with us.
Over 100 children are being looked after by the SOS Children's Village home found in Abaita Babiri with a youth program catering for 97 youth. These children were formerly abandoned, others lost their parents or separated because of domestic violence, and they end up in such children's homes.
When we bring these children into the locations, we do what we call tracing of families. So we look out into the communities to see where these children have been picked from. If we're not able to trace their biological families, then we work on what we call court care orders to bring these children in and have them legally in our locations.
The Fund Development and Communications Manager at SOS Children's Village Home in Uganda, Wanda Ngazi, says the number of abandoned children is on the rise.
So we give them meals, we give them access to education, we take them to schools, kindergarten, primary, secondary and university. We pay their school fees and give them all school requirements. We pay their medical bills in the event that they fall sick.
It is for this reason that a family strengthening program has been initiated, and they engage communities to deal with the risks and abuses affecting the children to keep them in communities.
So we are concerned as well because these go against the things that we know are supposed to provide loving homes for children. So as long as there's early child marriage, you know that a child is not supposed to have a child, or a child is not supposed to get married, at least before they're the age of 18. These things affect us as well. These things make us sad.
SOS Children's Village Home partnered with Pride Microfinance to give a helping hand to children.
Who wants to work in the bank? Pride Microfinance in its, as an institution, we have a theme that is health, water and sanitation, and we've been supporting. So SOS was one of the partners we felt would really come in, especially for the young.
The head of business development and marketing at Pride Microfinance, Deo Kateize, says the donation is one of the social corporate responsibilities done every year.
We came into partnership with them from 2017, and we've been actually supporting them, not only in just giving them these materials to help them in the areas of sanitation, but we also offer them opportunities for internship, 5 of them.
SOS is an international NGO that caters for the rights and basic needs of children who lost parental care by giving them basic needs like shelter, education and food, among others.
Mothers remain for one handover photo.
In another development, the MK movement and army structures for Bundibujo district have been launched this Saturday at a colorful event hosted in Bundibujo town. The event was graced by, among others, members of parliament and members of the general public.
From the Friday's activities in Kasese district, the MK movement team has this Saturday, 13th April 2023, switched to Bundibujo district. The team has been in the district to inaugurate local mobilization structures for the MK movement and MK army.
Now that we are here to launch MK structures, I therefore request for peace and unity in the district.
That for us, we are providing a standby generator. That when NRM says we are stopping here, we can be able to take over from there as MK movement.
This was an exercise overseen by the MK Army National Chairperson, also Igara East Member of Parliament, Michael Mawanda.
To request the people of Bundibujo to participate in government programs, mostly in the implementation of the parish development model. There are various categories who are supposed to benefit from this program. Reach out to your leaders, go to them so that you can be guided how best you can access these funds. The money has already been sent to various accounts of various circles.
In attendance were local leaders and members of the general public.
MK mbaile ningi followinga mbulibumbe ebite byamani kukurwanisa enguzi netubasaba mwongere genda ground omulasango omuntu naenda kulangaliza sente zaitu za PDM murauke bwangu mwikeho office.
Bundibujo is NRM throughout, today, tomorrow and ever, because of the true leadership we have seen in our president Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and the stability in the Bundibujo.
Let's assure all of you
that all the teams on ground of MK, be it Team Chairman, be it MK and all teams are one. There are no divisions. I urge all of you to work together in the interest of one cause, fronting General Hosea Kainerugaba for the top seat.
The football match mobilized from supporters of General Hosea Kainerugaba and President Kaguta Museveni rounded up the day's activities.
Our people want someone who has a background in security. Our people want someone who knows the regional politics of this area.
We want to participate in this transition, which we call a peaceful transition of power from General Museveni to General Hosea.
We are also here to celebrate Mzee Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for the things he has done in this district for the many years.
General Hosea is loved everywhere. In fact, people are saying, why are we wasting a lot of taxpayers' money to set election? They would just even nominate him to just be the president without election.
The 3 days countryside tour by General Hosea Kainerugaba's mobilization teams will come to an end with a mega activation exercise for Toro sub-region happening in Fort Portal City this Sunday. Robert Nyango, UBC News.
Kamuli District local leaders are grateful to the President upon appointing Isanga Musumba as the head of local government finance. They now want parents to advise their children not to get involved in indiscipline that leads to moral decay.
Kamuli District local leaders are grateful to the President upon appointing Isanga Musumba as the head of local government finance.
Today we are very pleased to see that Mr. Musumba has come in the chair as a commissioner and is chairing even the commission. He was the one who initiated these town councils, but since he has left, town councils are just idle. Therefore, we are very grateful for that. We know that town council are going to be funded properly as it was.
And we are so grateful as the people of Kamuli, we are so grateful as the people of Magogo, I represent the district of Kamuli, to have Honorable Isanga Musumba as a chairperson, and we expect a lot from him. And my advice to Honorable Isanga Musumba, since President has appointed him, has given him that opportunity or that responsibility of the chairperson, he should work hard. He should work hard to make sure that at least he shows the potential in him to ensure that the local government, all local governments in Uganda improve in corruption, because we have a lot of corruption at district level.
Kubanga omuntu moderate noyo abanga afunye ekifo ky'amaanyi kityo tumusubiramu okulankulanya abasoga.
They now want parents to advise their children not to get involved in indiscipline. That leads to moral decay.
Kyabudankanu, kyabugwenufu, tikyabwa Katonda era tikyabuwangwa. Omukazi okubayiza mukazi mwine. Abagwagwa ababalowooza ati idembe lyaibu. Bona tibazaalibwa musaada ku musaada oba mukazi ku mukazi. N'olw'ensonga eyo beeyiteeka libisoba be bakagwa bakama baifu. Tusaba mwena mube bakambwe. Mutagana bintu ebyo kuyingira mu byalo. Aye bidira mu buyambi. Ife tusinga kwenda atuli kutola ku mwana tujja musomesa paka ku university.
Isanga Musumba, who was appointed by the President to head the local government finance committee, thanked the President and the people who organized the Thanksgiving ceremony for him.
Local governments, for a fact, need more advocacy within the government to get a realistic share of resources. Because remember, local governments are the governments nearest to the people. The list of mandate that the local governments have been handed, list includes things like primary education, healthcare, primary healthcare, secondary education, and so on.
He promised better service delivery. I'm Ivan Juko for UBC.
Parents have been urged to shower their children parental love to avoid the increasing immoral acts prevailing within the world. This has been communicated by different speakers during the launch of the My Girl Child book by Rita Suruwu in Kampala.
What is her full potential? What will she be? Will you be able to see even a glimpse of it? Will you be able to live and see where she will land? Will you see her getting a master's? No, first, will you see her finish P7? Sorry, I'd gone too far. Huh? Will you finish her, see her finish P7? Then S4? Then finish school? See her graduate, get her master's, get her, I can remember the joy of my mother for getting a PhD. You know, it's like I want her to wear the hat. You know how we take off our hats and the
Lack of security at Salama School for the blind in Mukono district is a source of worry to the school administrators. Dorothy Sebaduka, the head teacher, wants government to build a perimeter wall around the school. This happened while receiving CCTV cameras, solar lights donated from the National Disabled Children's Fund at a cost of 15 million Ugandan shillings.
Salama School for the Blind, located at Luga Village in Chisoga Town Council in Mukono district, has 58 students, but lack of security is putting the school administration on tension. This prompted the National Association of Disabled Persons to answer the cry with a donation of CCTV cameras and solar lights worth 15 million shillings in order to increase security of the pupils.
Okay, thank you so much. This is good, and it is going to help us so much to locate places here at school.
The head teacher, Dorothy Sebaduka, thanked Nodipu for the support, saying that it will enable them protect the children.
Please, thank you so much. And the lightning and the standby lightning system, at least this is going to help us, at least to reduce on the risks. This is going to help us to reduce on the what? On the risks of the school. Thank you so much. Perimeter wall. The perimeter wall. We lack the perimeter wall here at school to make the fence. And the security at the gate. The security we have right now is the Kasale man, who is not even trained, but we need a trained personnel for security purposes.
A primary 7 pupil, Kobusinji Sharat Mary, describes the situation they are going through as children at the moment and appealed to government for more help.
As the government promised, it is going to maintain the security. Now, what I request, let them add more security, because we can be in the dome and we see the lights and the different lights and we'll be scared. And as the fire come back, but they told us we stop fearing such things. We stop fearing such things. Now, what kindly, humbly requesting, we need a security.
Nodipo Chief Executive Officer Esther Josira explained why they came out to support the school.
Responsibilities is to ensure that we build the capacity of institutions or persons with disabilities, and Salama School for the Blind is one of them. We have been able to procure CCTV cameras that you are going to be seeing around the school. We have also been able to procure solar lights that are going to help to strengthen the security of the school. You know, Salama School is one of those schools that provide special education to children with visual impairment. And we believe that with our small contribution, they will be able to deliver quality education to our learners with visual impairment.
Jerry, 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 con! Jerry, 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 con! Hey! Master Blaster, touch him, man. Bank with muscle. Those ones who say go for you only. Mundava, best school fees I teach you. When I go to the school, because of the camera is very far. Is you serious? Is serious you? What? Yeah? You step it on it. Add kilometers to your legs, and you get your sugar. We buy meat from Umaru, and Umaru refuse to give you enough meat. Mama! Show him that they don't joke with you. Umaru,
okukakaluka n'okulungi kwetaagako omuntu akuyambako n'olwekyo tujja kukuteerawo embeera esaanidde osobole okukola ekisinga awamu teri kitulema. This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president.
Their support meant so much to me, and as a teenage girl, I stayed focused and was protected from child marriage and teenage pregnancy. I will support other girls against child marriage and teenage pregnancy.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sawuti 116.
Did you know that you can safely and conveniently make your school fees payments anytime, any school, anywhere using Airtel Money? Oh yes! Simply pick up your phone and dial *185#. Select option 6, school fees. Choose between school pay, peg pay, or shore pay. Enter student number. Enter amount, confirm name and transaction. Enter Airtel Money PIN. A confirmation message will be sent to you upon a successful transaction. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
This is a quick call. I'm almost out of minutes. Now, the center.
Why rush through such important conversations? Airtel Uganda has made it possible for you to call across all networks in Uganda at the best rates with the new Bona voice bundles. Stay connected anytime, anywhere, with minutes valid for calls on all networks. Dial *100*1#. Select voice bundles and select Bona voice bundles today. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Yes, welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight. Now we're in the world of business. The management of the Millennium Circle 2012 has been advised not to turn their circle into a bank because they serve members and not customers. The Chief Executive Officer was Alendo Circle, Colonel Fred Joseph Onata, explains that if the circle is to be sustainable, there is need to be member-centered.
The Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Millennium Circle 2012 has officially opened a branch in Tinda, Kampala as the 8th branch. It started operations mid-March with 85 members opening accounts. Member savings are now at 90.3 million.
To have savings products like voluntary savings. This is for members who have idle money. They bring it to us, and for us we use it. At the end of the year, we give them back, as in we give dividends to them. We also have share accounts. With the shares, a share is 10,000, so you can buy as many shares as you can. And for these ones, we give you returns at the end of the year.
The entire Circle network that began in Barara has acquired an asset base of over close to 21 billion shillings. The new branch fulfills their mission of creating a platform to transform community and also provide members with tools they need to achieve their financial goals.
We make sure we have people of integrity in leadership. If you don't have leaders with integrity, you are wasting time. You can't achieve much. The branch represents our unwavering commitment to expanding our reach, touching more lives, and serving our members better. One time,
the chairman, board of directors, Millennium Circle, Engineer Tumwine Fred, says the target is to get 60% profitability per share.
At the beginning, we had only one purpose of serving our community. But now I'm looking at profitability. Because every time I tell my customers that we have made profit, I see the excitement. So we are not going to keep at, we want both of the objective met. We want to make sure that we serve our people, but we make profit.
Was Lendo Circle Chief Executive Officer, Colonel Fred Joseph Onata, advised Millennium Circle to be careful as they recruit new members and also prepare for the competition in Kampala.
Because there are actually some people will come here, dump money, get your money and go to another circle. So that competition is going to be very real, and your circle, as a circle, you are better placed to enjoy all the financial services that you can get from the commercial banks. You can register for mobile banking.
Other financial experts advised Millennium Circle to invest in financial literacy and also look at their savings, timely deposits and share capital for accountability.
Of your empowerment process should be targeting, empowering people to understand what is money. Money is not just paper. Money is a concept.
There are willful defaulters in the membership of this bank, and they will make this bank collapse. Let me tell you, even those who want to give money to this bank, if they know that you are not recovering what you have lent, they will not give you their money.
I'm Nafka Farida and Stephen Kalisia. Intin.
Now, in another development, the Office of the Prime Minister and Ministry of Labour, together with the Republic of China, has flagged off 17 students going for an ICT competition in China on the 21st of this month. Now, these students were selected countrywide from Makerere University, Muni University and Chambogo University.
The Chinese ambassador to Uganda, Zhang Lizong, has hailed the good relations between Uganda and China.
Guidance of the President of China and President of Uganda, our comprehensive cooperative partnership has enjoyed steady development. The two countries enjoy profound traditional friendship. Our political mutual trust continues to be consolidated. The practical cooperation in all fields yielding fruitful achievements.
According to a report released in 2012 about ICT, showed that there is a shortage of digital skills, and taking students to China is one way of improving digital skills in the country and in job creation. The representative of the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Labour, Adrian Muhumuza, says the Labour Ministry is implementing the program called Green Jobs Program to support the formal sector, and many people from Busoga region have benefited from the many programs.
I can confidently say that under the Juakari or the informal sector component, quite a number of the young people and women from the Busoga sub-region have already benefited from this engagement. You are lucky indeed that even the official launch of the Green Jobs Program was launched in Kamuli.
The Deputy Mayor Jinja City, Fazira Kauma, attended the function where a number of youths were sent to China for an ICT course.
At the preparation, where I also have some learners with special needs. We don't want to be left behind. Remember that SC, SDG, leaving no one behind. If we are promoting ICT, what about the visually impaired? who cannot read what you read. Have we thought about them? Have we thought about them? We also have issues. We also need to keep connected to the rest of the world.
Third Deputy Prime Minister Honorable Rukia Isanga Nakadama, who flagged off the students, says these students are going for competition and are expecting better results.
The region, in collaboration with China, we are trying to see that development is enhanced, and this development we are doing it through these technologies, the ICT technologies, and we are calling upon everybody who has gone into this class, because this truck will be moving around Busoga for the students to study, to know more about those technologies, the computer, the smartphones that they have, and many other things. These people, some of them know how to use the YouTube, TikTok and everything. So whoever can learn from that track, you can go and do your business better using those technologies. The Public Relations Officer Huawei Muchala Fauzia says these selected students are selected by the Ministry of Education and Sports, and they select those who have performed better from different universities. Aine Mbabazi Price from Muni University says she is much excited to go to China because they have good training facilities.
I expect good results because we've been training. Yeah, we shall do better.
Amina Nabule Kajimo, UBC News.
The Resol Agribusiness Show is here under the theme Revolutionizing Agriculture through Value Addition, Innovation and Technology, scheduled for 13th to 16th June 2023 at Ruhinga Stadium for Portrait Tourism City, with a free medical camp running throughout the show. Entrance is totally free. To sponsor, partner and participate, contact 0702 301 059 or 0773 458 492 or 0773 301 059.
Talk with freedom. Get MTN Freedom voice bundles that don't expire. Dial *100 *21# or my MTN app for more bundles. Together, we're unstoppable.
Juko. Yo.
Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the Parish Development Model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The Parish Development Model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government, designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
This is a quick call. I'm almost out of minutes. Now, the center.
Why rush through such important conversations? Airtel Uganda has made it possible for you to call across all networks in Uganda at the best rates with the new Bona voice bundles. Stay connected anytime, anywhere, with minutes valid for calls on all networks. Dial *100 *1#. Select voice bundles and select Bona voice bundles today. Airtel, the smartphone network.
And now, in the world of sports, the Kabaka of Buganda has appeared officially and opened the Buganda Clan tournament at Mutesa 2 Wankuluku Stadium. The opening match was between Nchima and Ngabi clans, and the Ngabi beat Nchima by 3-1. The clan games are being held under the theme Man Against HIV, AIDS and Saving the Girl Child. Let's have a look.
would like to appreciate His Majesty the Kabaka of Buganda, Ronald Muwenda Mutebi, for gracing the highly billed opening match. We want to thank all the people of Buganda who have participated in this opening. This has been a communal effort calling for a communal response of the people of Buganda. We have to come together. We have to come together from regardless of our social classes to make sure we have such a beginning. This is just the beginning. Our strategic focus must be centered to the finishing, that is the end. I want to appeal to all the clan teams to make sure you make thorough preparations within your respective clans so that we may have a high build end towards the finals.
As Airtel Uganda, we are once again proud to associate ourselves with the kingdom. The Bika as a tournament forms the three pillars that form the kingdom of Buganda. We believe that through our support for football, we can be able to unearth grassroots talent, and we hope that we'll continue to grow this property and this brand for it to become one of the most significant properties or brands that we have in the country.
More in sports, Kawempe Muslim girls football team has been eliminated from the ongoing Fresh Diary Senior Secondary Games in Barara. Kawempe, who made the finals previously, was forced into penalties only to lose to a mass college school. Now St. Noah, on the other hand, is through the semi-finals.
Not the usual final, the party has been ruined. Girls football giants Kawempe Muslim are out of the ongoing Fresh Day Senior Secondary School games. Kawempe was knocked out by Amos College on penalties.
For sure, I can't express my happiness right now because it was because of God's grace and love that we managed to beat Kawempe.
Their counterparts, however, St. Noah, are through to the semi-finals of the games, defeating Sacred Heart Gulu.
It wasn't really tough because we expected to win and we've won. It wasn't tough. That was the game we played, and we're just going to correct our mistakes that appeared on the pitch. We are going to come back the next game stronger and stronger to achieve the best, to become the champions of 2020 to 2023 Fresh Diary Games in Ibarra.
The other shocking quarter-final game, Mukono Parent School defeated Boni Kuchuli Vocational School.
We are so happy that we made it to the semi-finals. It's our first time to go to the semi-finals. We are very happy. We want to thank the Almighty for enabling us to reach the semi-finals.
In the ladies basketball, St. Mary's Chitende, Budo SS and St. Noah are through to the quarterfinals. In table tennis girls, Mbogo High defeated Navisunsa in straight sets to make it to the semis, while Chibli SS defeated Kaoteka Academy in the men's event. Fresh Diary invested 240 million shillings in these games that climax Monday afternoon.
Our sponsorship basically is to ensure that we are supporting the talent in schools, and we are doing so by giving the kids a chance to showcase what they have. At the same time, we're also offering our products which are very good for post-workout activities.
The winners of these games represent the country in the East African Games, slated later this year in Rwanda.
Yes, and that brings us to the end of our 10 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. Thank you for being a lovely audience. With me, Wadulo, Mark Arnold, Mugalo Mohammed on sign language will allow us to wish you a lovely night and yes, enjoy yourselves.
A very warm welcome. Here is the latest in weather from the Weather Center with Semper Alex Kim. It has been sunny intervals in most parts of the country today morning, though some areas around Butambala received some light isolated rainfall. But in the afternoon, there was a pickup of wet weather activities that is across the western sector of the country, but the north hung on to sunny conditions. Well, the kind of weather we are seeing is attributed to a ridging from the tip of South Africa, influencing and causing the dry conditions of our region. However, there is also a diversion of moist winds away from our region. That is why we are continuing to see dry conditions across Uganda. However, tomorrow, we do expect the central part of the country to have some light isolated rainfall. Will be around Kampala. For Nakasongola, Mubende and Masaka, we do expect sunny intervals. But in the western part of the country, we do expect a domination of sunny intervals. However, in the eastern, we are expecting some light isolated rainfall that will be in Jinja as well as Tororo. But in Soroti, we do expect sunny intervals. And in the north, we do expect sunny intervals to dominate most of the morning. However, in the afternoon, we do expect the central to have some rainfall activities that will be across most parts of the country, but with temperatures ranging from 27 degrees centigrade to about 30 degrees centigrade. And in the western, we will expect temperatures to range from 25 degrees centigrade to be across Kabale Highlands to about 31 degrees centigrade in Masindi, and some rainfall activities that will be across Kasese. In the eastern, we do expect Soroti as well as Jinja and Tororo to have sunny intervals, though in Tororo they will have some light isolated rainfall at a daytime high over 29 degrees centigrade. And in the north, we do expect to see sunny intervals continue to dominate, but temperatures quite high at 32 degrees centigrade. That will be across Kitugum as well as Kotido. And in Lira, we do expect a daytime high over 31 degrees centigrade. And elsewhere across the globe, we're expecting London to have cloudy conditions at a daytime high, quite cold at 21 degrees centigrade. For Beijing at 30 degrees centigrade, and Nairobi, we do expect some rainfall activity with a daytime high over 25 degrees centigrade. With that, we wrap it up. Stay tuned. I remain Semper Alex Kim.
Kato, this is a quick call. I'm almost out of minutes. Now, the center.
Why rush through such